right, Brad, it is good to see you, dude. I know that we missed the last week's episode, but we are going to get back on track here. It's been busy with holidays and birthdays and things like that, man. But it's good to see you. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Happy 4th of July.
You
To
as
everyone
well?
back home. So yeah, so it's been awesome. Been having a great time. Had some poor Wi-Fi the last week and a half, but back to a little bit more of the real world again.
Yeah, man. I see the beautiful Costa Rican scenery behind you. You know, you were telling me
Yes.
there's like a mountain and a valley and then the
Yeah,
ocean.
right back there, and what looks like just nothingness. It's so crazy how the camera does that.
The greenery there is phenomenal. My wife and I went there for a trip for numerous days, and it was one of those things. It was like really thinking, do we just want to call home and stay here? Is that cool?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could easily live there. It's
yeah,
gorgeous,
yeah.
absolutely
Costa Rica is a
gorgeous.
special place.
And the
So.
time slows down. You know, it's just
Yeah.
totally different there. So,
Yep, you're definitely on Tico time here.
right?
So get used to it.
Seriously,
You need a rental car, whenever they get to you, you
right?
need maintenance done on the house. Oh, it might be a week.
Yeah, right. Well, the cool thing about crypto is crypto keeps going no matter where you are, and you can be
Right.
involved no matter where you are. You know, I
And
know Brad, you've
however you
still
want to be
been,
involved.
yeah, and you've still been doing some trading. You know, even while you're on the go,
Yep.
and we're able to still record. You know,
Yep.
and get this out to our 3 listeners. And no, but actually, I was looking at the stats, man. I think we're approaching over 500 listens at this point. So, man,
Fantastic.
thank you to anybody and everybody who's been tuning in. And I hope you're getting something out of this. That's our only goal, is
Yep.
just to bring value and knowledge to the space. So we appreciate you guys taking the
Absolutely.
time to listen.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. And it's great to have all of you guys on here with us and on the journey as we maneuver our way through this bear market.
Right, right. Well, let's dive in, Brad. I think you prepped a little bit of chart stuff for us, kind of what's been going on. You know, we saw another dip, you know, and then came back up. We've just been kind of a little stagnant, you know, these past
Mhm,
few days since
mhm,
the larger
mhm.
dip.
Yeah,
And nobody really knows where the bottom is. We still think we can still go lower, but there's also been a ton of news going through the news spaces with lending companies going out
yeah,
and Three Arrows Capital and all that stuff. So let's
yeah.
let's dive in, man.
Well, let's jump in and we'll just go through it and we'll talk about it because really all those things kind of play together, right?
Right.
So
Yep. 100%. It
put your
all.
notebook on the keyboard. Things go crazy. So, but yeah, let me go ahead and set up this share my screen,
Do it.
and we can get in this. So, screen share, and let's get the browser going. All right. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yep. You are good.
All right, cool. All right, so we are over here on CoinGecko, like I do every week, and we're just going to jump in here and see where we're currently at. Um, this is Tuesday, so July 5th, and what time is it? 3 o'clock y'all's time,
Yep.
Central
Central
Time. Yeah.
time. Yep.
So it's right around 3 o'clock Central Time, and so you can see right now our market cap is hovering around $900 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So just shy of the trillion mark. We've been kind of sitting here, and
Right.
so this is where we've been. These numbers look pretty boring. The bear market is boring. Okay, that's going to be part of this, and so bear markets are boring. It lulls you to sleep. It gets you distracted. You get into other things. You don't pay attention, and then boom, things change. And so it's just the way it's going to be. So price of Bitcoin, this morning it was down under 20,000. It's been really hard to shake this 20,000 spot. So price tried to push up last week, pushed up closer to almost 22, and then went right back down into the 19 range. So, we're hovering there. Same thing with Ethereum. You see Ethereum currently at 1153, 1154. And it did the same thing, bounced
Right.
up with Bitcoin about to 1270 or so, and here we are. Then you see Tether, USD coin, okay.
Good to see those
BN,
still at a
yeah,
dollar.
yes. BNB is up as well, still in the top five. And then you have the Binance stablecoin rounding up the top six with XRP, Cardano, Solana, and Doge
Little
finishing
Doge.
off the top 10. Okay. So and I don't know if I've ever really talked about this, but the top 10 is based on their market cap. All right.
Right.
So based on the amount of money that's in each of these assets. And so the market cap shows you how much money is in each. So when you go back up to the top, you can see the total crypto market cap hovering around 900 billion, almost 400 billion of that's in Bitcoin, 135 of that or so is in Ethereum. And then the market caps go down from there, and you can kind of see how they sit.
Right.
So that's the way to look at that. That's the way to understand it. Okay. So that's where we're currently at. And then if you just want to see, I mean, this is going to be kind of boring, but if you want to see the gainers and losers, you can click here. You can see like some random, tokens here. What I like to do though is instead of clicking on that, I just go to the main page and I will sort over the last 24 hours or the last week. So if we want to see the top gainers, you've got Terra's classic stablecoin has made it back up to 6 cents. Look at that. Supposed to be at $1. Oh man, they've changed the name of this now.
They did.
So they're really working to try to fix this. I don't know if they'll ever fix it, but we'll see. Curve, another lending protocol that had some problems. They've come back up. Celsius. So you see a lot of these coins that like went kind of haywire, having some big gains. But for the most part, if you want to get into like some like more top 10, 20 coins, you're not going to see much price movement in those in the last 7 days. Okay. Right. Now, if we go to the big losers over the last 7 days, you got KuCoin, Helium, HBAR is down 10%. Polkadot's down 10%. Gala's down almost 10%. Graphs is at 9%. So you can kind of see where we're at. You got Decentraland, one of the big metaverse coins, down 8%. So that's where we're at right now as a market.
And these are really just like little ups and downs, like you're on a little kiddie coaster at Six Flags, right?
100%. Going up and down 10% on an altcoin is not a whole lot. But this is what everyone's chasing right here is the dollar index. All right. So this is what we're all looking at is the dollar index to see what's going on. And I'm looking at a 1 hour chart right now, and the dollar index just went on a little skyrocket road today, and just shot back up past these levels. And now we're pushing 106. And what's really interesting is as the dollar continues to climb, you're starting to see all these foreign exchange pairs that had been at much higher highs. Euro specifically is almost to a pair with the dollar.
Wow.
A 1-for-1 pair.
That's
which
interesting.
this is not been this way in like 20 years.
Wow.
So this is big news. So like if we were to pull this out on a monthly chart, this is something to look at. I had this zone marked off right here on the monthly because this is the last time you can see 2003 where the euro was less than the dollar.
Yeah.
So this is big. This is big. Now this could come down, hit this level, and this could be a reset. We've been talking a lot about how we're in an economic reset globally right now. And so this is part of that. I mean, you had a 20-year run here where the euro went up. Now maybe we bring this down, we come back to these levels, and then we see this euro price action move again. We see the dollar come back down to more stable levels where it's been in the past, where it's not in these highs, but maybe coming back down into the 90s. And then you see stock market rally, you see crypto rally, you see foreign X pairs rally, things like that. So, but right now, as one of my friends and mentors would say, the daddy is dollar, and dollar daddy right now, and so you gotta give the dollar all of its credit right now, and understand that the dollar is like daddy in the world's currencies. It's the global reserve currency almost everywhere. So many countries, like I'm in Costa Rica right now, depend on the dollar strength for their currencies. And so a lot of countries worldwide depend on the dollar. So even though we went through rapid printing and all these kind of things, they're gonna figure out how to keep that as secure as possible. And right now, these different things that are going on with monetary policy and things like that, interest rate hikes, stuff that they're doing with the Federal Reserve right now, they're protecting the banks, they're protecting the dollar. And so we'll see how long this continues. I mean, this could continue much higher. I have this range marked up, for the dollar up here, where I could see like maybe, once we get into the dollar index starts reaching the teens and 20s, maybe we start to see a pullback. But right now, I mean, there's nothing holding this back from these long-term targets for the dollar. It's broken all of this resistance. We talked about this a few weeks ago, being at 20-year levels. Now we've passed that, and we're looking at levels that take us back to, 2002 potentially, to these highs, and potentially all the way back to the 80s.
That would be wild.
We were in the major recession years. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But the stock market and everything else is reacting the same way. Let me get off of this monthly and go into more of a daily. Let's just look at the S&P. I got that better, I think. Yeah. You can see the S&P is just straight dropped all year as well. It is, continuing to move lower. And this is, bear market. And, get used to where we're at right now, and start understanding how to maneuver your money around in a bear market. Not exactly what I want to have happen right now, but it's what's happening. And so we have to pivot, adjust, and learn.
What are your thoughts on like the coupling? It's interesting that, the dollar and crypto are very inversely, related. But yet the stock market, like the S&P and crypto, are very correlated. It's so interesting to me, and it's largely due to them just being, larger investment vehicles, and being able to put money in like that. But I see crypto decoupling at some point.
Yes,
right.
Agreed.
That's what it's meant to do. It's so many people say that crypto is supposed to be the hedge against inflation, but we just haven't seen it. We just have not seen it do that yet. But
let me show you this, and we can kind of see crypto to the S&P, right?
Right. Yeah. So he's putting the S&P on the left side of the screen here, and he's putting Bitcoin on the right side of the screen, both on a daily chart.
I'm trying to.
There we go.
Squeeze this.
No, that looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, the way.
So,
yep.
I got my dates the same. Yeah, I got my dates the same now. Okay. So, you can see, very similar correlation, right?
Right.
And so both were on a nice uptick until last October-ish, November, before this started to fall apart. And so, the way I look at it right now is that crypto is still looked at as an investment class vehicle, and a risky investment class vehicle, more like a tech stock. I feel like it is treated kind of like technology stocks are, right? And so technology stocks are typically a little bit more risky. It's not like your Walmarts and your Coca-Colas and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And so you see the tech stocks move more than you see the value stocks. And so if you're looking at this and you're looking at these charts, yeah, the S&P and the Bitcoin chart look very similar. They're coupled basically, like what you were saying. I do believe that we'll see those decouple, and crypto will have a different look as the technology is adopted, and I believe also as regulation happens. But I think you'll see those move a little bit differently. Another interesting one is if you were to look at gold as well, so very similar. Now, this is what's crazy, right? So most people's idea was get into crypto, get into metals, that kind of thing, because recession's coming, right? We're printing all this money. Let's hedge protection against that. Well, it's actually done exactly the opposite, right? So because they've raised the value of the dollar, they've manipulated the value of the dollar. While doing that, they've manipulated the stock market, the commodities, and the crypto markets. And so those things have all had an inverse relationship, obviously, with the dollar. Yeah. I think as crypto becomes more widespread globally, as far as adoption is concerned, you'll see this decouple, and it will act more on its own and not be so tied to these other markets. But yeah, I mean, that is the case right now for sure.
Yeah, good stuff.
So those are the charts where we're at right now. I had this up a second ago.
It just needs a little refresh.
See if I can refresh it. Come on now.
The fear and greed doesn't want to tell you. We're freaking out, man. we can't even make the chart today. Go back to there you go.
There we go. I just had to scroll down. I don't know why. There's normally not this huge gap. Like, that was weird. Okay, so fear and greed index. This is just kind of gives you the market sentiment. It's up to 19.
Yeah, look at that.
We're not in total
11. Fear.
I think
it says extreme fear,
8, right? Didn't we get down to 8?
Yeah.
Like a month or so ago.
I mean, it was at 10 last week. So
yeah. So I mean, we were down at 11. I know, really recently. So I guess people aren't as scared today. Now let's talk about some news things. Obviously, we missed some stuff last week. We talked about Celsius a couple of weeks ago and some other things, but big news that has been going on is a lot of these marketplaces that have been holding withdrawals, right?
The exchanges,
So you've got like exchanges that are holding withdrawals, and a lot of the lending platforms are going, debunked or whatever.
Belly up.
And so a lot of that was tied back to Celsius. A lot of them had money on Celsius's platform. Celsius is paying off some of its loans right now, 120 million. And so, but you see this being a major player. I saw some posts about Voyager this week. I know guys that had a lot of money in some of these different exchanges, and some of these guys have a couple 100,000 or more locked up in some of these exchanges that they can't have access to. And I think that really shows you some things about the DeFi markets and how untested that they were for some of these withdrawal items, and also just like where they were putting their trust, like, having trust in Celsius and things like that. Personally, I'm not tied to any of those things. And so I'm not, suffering from not being able to withdraw my crypto. But you've got to understand, if you have your money tied into those lending softwares and protocols and things like that for staking or whatever it may have been, that there's risk in that. And so I think this bear market season, and I think during this time, a lot of this stuff will get figured out. So next time we're in a bull market season and people are looking, I think 4 years from now, 3 4 years from now, a lot of this stuff a lot of these kinks are gonna be worked out. But
Right.
this is really weeding out people that had high leveraged bets on some of these companies to be able to provide these leverage solutions.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and you and I were talking about this before before the show. We really feel like this bear market is just like you said, it's shaking out everything. We're trying to find some common ground, between church and state, if you will. And regulation is going to come in, and I believe regulation is what's going to pull us out of this bear market. And talking to a friend over the weekend as well, that we don't think the astronomical easy money, crazy percentages are, those are now in the past. Yes, there's going to be little opportunities here and there and whatnot, but this is going to be more of a long-term growth, over time, as more and more institutional money can now get off the sidelines and come in because regulation is now happening. And their money is going to be backed if things like this happen, right? If another Terra Luna situation happens, stuff like that. And so that's what's happening right now. Nobody knows if we're going down to 10 or if we're going to see 5, for Bitcoin or whatnot, or where it's going to be, but that's what's happening. And so we're just kind of waiting to see where that is. But I believe it's going to take the regulation to get us out of the bear market and finally make a turn. We're at a very pivotal, I can't say the word, pivotal point.
Pivotal moment. Yeah, you got it.
I was creating a new one, pivotable. Yeah. Pivotal point in crypto.
Sometimes, we just gotta speak it out and just blur until it comes out, right?
Exactly.
You talk about a bottom, right? And no one knows, right? No one knows where this thing's going to bottom out.
Yeah.
I find this article very interesting. Robert Kiyosaki, it says he'll buy Bitcoin when it dips to $1,100.
What?
This guy, I swear, like I used to really like some of the things that he said, but not very long ago, like he's like saying how we buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. And now he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy more Bitcoin at $1,100. And I'm like, I just don't know where to go with like the things that he says anymore.
No.
Dude, what are you talking about? So found that interesting that he pulled that one out over the weekend.
Well, he keeps going back and forth on whether he likes crypto or doesn't like crypto.
Yeah,
too.
he's
like one month
crypto, he's not in on crypto.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I started my real estate career because of his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And 80% of investors, real estate investors, will tell you that they started their real estate career because of that book. Right. Yeah. And I'm not going to say anything. That book is a great book. If you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad and you want a different view on money, I highly, highly recommend that book. Yeah. It's a great, great read in order to give you a totally different perspective on money. So I highly recommend it. But just some of the things, like you said, that he's saying, he's very wishy-washy right now.
Yeah. But hey, you know what I've learned through all this is, and I can't remember, how many times I've probably said this before on the show, but what I've learned most importantly through all this is never listen to any of those people. Don't listen to those people. Because whether it's a talking head like Robert Kiyosaki, or if it's a news person or whatever, some analyst that ABC pulls out from some stupid university that says the economy's not going to go into a recession, or the economy's going to go into a recession, or whatever they want to say, right?
What headline can I make to stay relevant?
And I said ABC, but whatever news network, it doesn't really matter, right? Anybody's going to I don't care. Whatever they say, typically the opposite happens. All right. So I have gotten to the point of, it's so important to do your own homework, know what you believe, know what you feel comfortable with, and build a plan around it and attack it. And just in saying that, one of the things that I talked with Mike about earlier, and I just go ahead and share it now,
Yeah.
is next week I really want to talk mindset around building a trading plan,
Hmm.
whether that is accumulating cryptocurrency or any, crypto is what this show's about, right? But it can be crypto stocks and everything, right? What you're accumulating asset wise, and then also how to trade these markets right now to make money during this time,
Yep.
because you don't have to wait until 2024 when the next Bitcoin happening is to make money with Bitcoin.
Right.
Okay. There's things that you can do right now while the market's moving around, while it's bouncing right now between 19,000 and 21,000. Hopefully
Right.
it jumps up to 28,000, which I could see it doing, jump up to 28,000 and go down to 14. I could see that happening.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so there's things that you can do. So let's talk about that. Let's get that out there. So next week, tune in, because that is definitely what is on just in my mind for
Yeah.
to share with everyone.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's the most important thing. If we're doing this show, I want to help people make money now and
Yeah.
also set themselves up for the future. Because
Yeah.
Mike said what we were talking about earlier about, like, hey, you're not going to be able to make these astronomical gains. You still can make astronomical gains, but it's not going to be like, hey, I put $100 into an account and now it's worth a million.
Right.
I mean, you're going to have to do other things. But for example, if Bitcoin does drop to 10,000 and you got 100,000 that you have set aside that you can invest, you can take 100,000, buy 10 Bitcoin at 10,000, and
Hmm.
then if that goes up to 100 in the next bull run, which my belief is that Bitcoin will hit over 100,000 in the next bull cycle,
Hmm.
then boom, that 100 is now a million, and you just became a crypto millionaire.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
just a very clean example. That's not like, hey, take 100,000 and put it all in it,
Sure. Sure.
whatever. But I'm just saying, like, that's an example of how you can still make great money in these cycles to come. And you don't have to have that much money either. You invest, whatever you invest, find what works for you. And so that's what this is all about.
Yep. Yep.
Because I want what I've really realized is you got to be able to take understand that you're taking your crypto earnings to make more dollars.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
making more dollars, because if dollar is going to be the daddy of the financial world, like my buddy Jordan says, then you got to embrace that and know why you're investing, what your long term goals are, what you're using these investments for, etc. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now the dollar still is king, and until we see
it's
like,
obviously proving that. I mean,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
insane.
It is. It's funny because we talk about changing world orders and how we think, there's other fiats that are going to come into play, and it's not happening overnight, right? And so the dollar still is king. So you
Yeah,
take these cryptos, you make your money, get it back into dollars, and off you are.
yeah,
This crypto isn't. It's not going to be next year where all of a sudden all we're transacting in is Bitcoin. I mean, that's just not. That's not where we're at,
right.
right? But all the preparation and mindsets and learning tokenomics and learning how to trade and all that, right? Doing that now
Yeah,
before crypto, maybe Bitcoin does become king. Maybe it does.
yeah,
Maybe it's some other fiat.
right.
There's different schools of thought there, but doing the prep work now and doing this now before you're up against a wall and like, crap, I have to learn this stuff.
Right, absolutely. That's what we
That's
don't want. That's what we
exactly.
don't, is we want you guys to be able to gain some education here and then
Yeah.
go apply it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so we're gonna do the next couple of weeks are gonna have what Brad was talking about with your portfolio and learning the charts and trading and the mindset around that. And he's gonna do that, and then we're also gonna do and break down tokenomics very specifically. And we'll look at a couple of different coins and looking on CoinGecko and how we read
yeah,
CoinGecko and each different
yes,
project and how we research one and that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of cool stuff out there. I put out a couple of articles, but I think at this point, I mean, we're approaching half an hour already for this episode, so I think we'll probably save those for next week's episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll chime in. Maybe we'll do another little news episode that we can maybe get out before next week. But we'll see what we can do. But there's some neat stuff. I mean, Napster's coming back in the game. I was reading that. There's some neat stuff happening. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, well, you need to know what to look for so that you're not going to get in some Ponzi scheme, and lose all your money in it, right? And so we'll talk about tokenomics, trading mindset, and markets and stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. So. Well, cool. Well, good deal. Well, hope you guys got some value out of this week's. We apologize for missing the last week's, but we're going to get back on top of things and make sure we're getting this delivered to you on a regular basis. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't checked out our Telegram, we have a public Telegram channel. That link is in the show notes or the description. Just find that there. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We have those links in there as well. And if you haven't shared the Crypto Takeover podcast with somebody yet, please do. Now is the time to learn. And hopefully you found value and you would like to share that value with somebody else. So,
I just got back on Twitter again.
There you go.
Twitter in 10 years. And so I still had my account. I found my old account. And
nice.
So I just got back on Twitter. It's the same handle as all my other ones. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter are all the same. But I've been on kind of like a 10-day disappearance into the jungle. But I jokingly say that, but I'm not kidding you. I was on this tour in the jungle. I said jungle, in the rainforest, right? In Costa Rica, cloud
it's a jungle.
forest.
We can say jungle. It's
technically
okay.
a cloud forest. But so I started, we're like spotting sloths and stuff. And in the tour guide, I showed him this video because he was talking about this frog, and I showed him a video that I had done earlier that day of me like capturing the same frog. It's like this poisonous tree frog. It's not like, so anyways, I'm getting way off topic, but he started calling me Jungle Boy.
There you go. So if we don't have any more episodes, it's because Brad has dropped dead from a poisonous tree frog.
So my kids have like caught on to it. So now like my whole family is calling me Jungle Boy. So it's pretty hilarious. But anyway, so I'm Jungle Boy now.
So you can follow Jungle Boy on Instagram at.
So maybe I'll have to see if that handle's available. But anyway, Crypto Jungle Boy.
I love it. You're gonna have the leopard print. The leopard print tank top next time, okay?
Gosh, yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, man, we're having a blast down here. Good. And I hope that all of you guys are having an awesome summer as well. So make it an awesome, incredible day no matter where you're at, and know that these crypto markets are here to set you up, not to beat you up. So we do have I know like a lot of people probably are hurting right now because of some things like what's going on with Celsius and other things, maybe some of our listeners, and even just the market being down,
right.
A lot of people that saved a lot of money to try to buy a whole Bitcoin, and maybe they bought a whole Bitcoin at the wrong time, and it's
don't sell.
Don't allow yourself to disconnect from this market space. That's just my like parting words for today is stay involved, stay connected. The gains will come. It'll be there for you. This market is an incredible market, and this might just be what you needed to learn how to invest appropriately so you can do this on your own really, really well in the future. So I'll leave it with that. Thank you, Mike, for hosting and making sure we have this every week for everybody. You are the man behind all that, and so I greatly appreciate you for that.
Oh man, all good. I appreciate it, man. I'm just happy to be here. We love doing this stuff. Love this time of the day, and we appreciate your knowledge and insights into the markets and everything. So we're just taking our space and time and trying to share our knowledge. So we love it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. We will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Make it a great day. We'll see you next time.
All right. Have a blessed week, y'all.